You are live. That's what it says. Well, I'm going to talk about songs I wrote and how and why I wrote them tonight. I hope we'll make it interesting. I came up with this anthem thinking of it as a song you can even sing on the street and sing a cappella. Oh, thanks. Emily put a nice little graphic up there in the corner. But I'll accompany it right now. We are the earth, and we still speak of creation. I'm going to start that over again. We are the earth, and we speak for creation. We cannot stand by and watch its devastation. And we will not be bought, we will not be deceived. We are one, we are strong, we are the earth. We are one, we are strong, we are the earth. So you have two lines that rhyme, and the rest of the song is the same. We are the earth, of forest, soil, and ocean. We will stand in our defense and devotion, and we will not be bought. Usually I get people to sing back at this point. And we will not be bought, we will not be deceived. Try that. We will not be deceived. We are one, we are strong, we are the earth. We are one, we are strong, we are the earth. We are the earth, and we shall speak as one. Will not surrender great glaciers to the sun. We will not be bought, and we will not be bought. We will not be deceived. We are one, we are strong, we are the earth. We are one, we are strong, we are the earth. We are the earth, diverse and yet united. We will keep on until the wrongs are righted. And we will not be bought, we will not be deceived. We are one, we are strong, we are the earth. We are one, we are strong, we are the earth. We are more than just dwellers on this earth. We are the earth. Well, a few years ago, it was the year before Donald Trump got elected president, so it's already going back several years, 5. I wanted to go to this big rally that was Peace March, Earth March. I'm going to move this just a little bit like that because it looks not straight. There. Is that any better? I thought, well, maybe I could make a song, and somehow I knew I'd find Unitarian Universalists at this thing. I was going to go to, it was called the People of Faith Block in New York, between 58th Street, between 8th and 9th, and thousands of people just gathered there in the cold, rather cold October air. And I chickened out. I didn't sing this. I didn't try singing the song. I had it on a piece of paper in my pocket. I had the lyrics and how it would go. And the march started, and there were other people that sang songs, actually. I guess you might say gospel singers, but there were all kinds of people there. handsome young men with Bibles under their arms and wearing suits, and there were also people dressed like trees, and the pagans were there as well. We're with them, and the Unitarian Universalists in their yellow "Standing on the Side of Love" T-shirts were the highest representation there. I guess we had spread the word, join at that block, and then we all poured out onto 8th Avenue and up around the bottom of Central Park on 59th Street, Columbus Circle, and down Avenue of the Americas, past Radio City Music Hall, and down through all that. And it became really obvious that there were people gathering on all the streets from 40 to 80, I think. And lots of people on the higher numbers, I guess, had already gone before us. And it was obvious that this is just a staggering number of people. 500,000 probably. The police said 400,000, over 400,000, and who can count, really? And even Fox News said there were 400 people there. And then getting halfway down Avenue of the Americas, I thought I'd better really try to sing this song. And I sang it, walking backwards, yelling at all the UUs behind me that had the big banner UUA. And it worked out pretty well. But nobody captured that. And I just then went home and put my iPhone videos of the march to the song, Homemade. And that's, so I don't have it on an album, but it's on YouTube. You can find it. And I just played it, so you can find it here, too. We are the earth. Yeah, what else? You can just make up 2 lines, and they go. We are the earth, wounded but unbroken. We will rise when to power truth is spoken. And we will not be bought, and we will not be bought. We will not be deceived. We are one, we are strong, we are the earth. We are one, we are strong, we are the earth. We are more than just dwellers on this earth. We are the earth. Well, I've occasionally made up an extra 2. So you just make up a rhyming couplet and say it, and then get everybody to do the rest. And we will not be bought. I need my glasses for this. I wrote a song for this occasion. It wasn't for this occasion. Just in the middle of nowhere, or in the middle of everywhere, which happens to me. I had no business stopping to write a song, but I did. I had some ideas before that. Oh, I just stretched my neck. Pardon me, did you hear that? Put it on the microphone. Crack. Years ago, actually, it was on a peace march. I went to Florida it was called the Florida Peace Pilgrimage. After the Great Peace March in 1986, there'd been a whole band of people that and Vietnam veterans were a big part of this thing that started. They brought trucks. They got trucks and porta potty trucks and the kitchen trucks and the buses and everything. So they were the motor pool of that 650 people in the Great Peace March. And then they said, well, what do we do next? Well, where's another peace march? And so I got the news. Everybody was going to Florida in January. So I thought, well, I'll go and I'll find gigs in Florida. So I guess that was maybe in September or October or something. So I had time to plan. Okay, I'm going to find some gigs at Unitarian churches and other things. And actually plotted a big concert that had Peter Yarrow and Tom Chapin and various others in not Orlando, but anyway, not where the Peace March was. The Peace March went down the East Coast and ended up at Cape Canaveral. So walking 20 miles a day from the border of Georgia, where there's a big naval installation down to where they were shooting off these nuclear missiles. So what I wanted to say was, we went through Jacksonville, and I wish I could remember his name. Oh yeah, I do. John DeWolf-Hurt was the minister, Reverend DeWolf-Hurt. He was a great Southern preacher. His S's whistled a little as he would talk to you, and he'd just charm you with a story. And you'd be wondering, where the heck is this going? But it was just a wonderful story. And he said, the birds rising up, it's so beautiful. And he started talking about the third dimension. And saying, now, some of us can appreciate this third dimension. These peace marchers, they see things from the third dimension, not just down here on the flat ground. And he's going through this thing. You can go over toward Tallahassee and over in the Gulf Coast, and they got these boats with glass bottoms, and you get in the boat and you look right down and you see right down. If you're on top of the water, you just see but now you can see down. He goes on and on and on with this story about third dimension. Well, so I completely forgot about it. No, I didn't completely, because I still remember it. And somehow I started writing this song, and the image of migrating birds, they're going over us. Is spring too soon? I don't know. Climate change not working as it usually did. But anyway, the mallards and the Canada geese are flying over in formations. Other things, birds have arrived here. And there are a lot less birds in the world than there used to be. I'm very conscious of that. And I started saying, well, these birds are flying, and I didn't have the third dimension in there, but they can see from this different perspective. And I'm going to admit to you that, boy, my neck. Ugh. Okay, I'm talking too much. Sing the song. My printer stopped working, so I couldn't print out the words. And I've got another computer right here. So there they are. There's the words. And Emily, let me just sing it first before we distract them with that. Because what I got there on the piece of paper is my original thing, and then I'll just show you what I ended up editing it to so far. Soaring beyond doubt over Earth's solemn gravity, in noisy migration, still they long for their rest. Star-kissed their wings as they carve the sky eternal, looking to the night when they'll sleep in their nests. Voyagers hear signs written on the wide horizon. From their third dimension find the secrets they seek. Quest for nobility, sustenance, serenity beckons to the brave as it comforts the meek. So may we see over barriers and borderlines a bond of all beings of the earth, land, and sea, dreaming a world where each life is truly valued, rendering a justice that restores humanity. Spirit of the earth, spirit of the never-ending, from the third dimension, seeking straight from the heart. Spirit moving always just beyond our understanding. In the greater dance, may we each play our part. Oh boy. Well, I'll practice that song. That was a timid rendition of the song. But now let's show you the lyrics. So at first, just to talk about my process, I won't dwell on it. I had some other words that were so terrible that they're gone already. But this was my first draft. And soaring over earthly inhibitions, that didn't sound right to me after a while. The migrating birds, I decided to leave the word birds out. I don't say birds. Sun kissed their wings. The sky unlimited, I then said the sky eternal. Looking to the night, I originally said dreaming, but then I saved the word dreaming for later. Voyagers heed signs. I just said hear when I sang the song. Voyagers heed signs. And time will know the secrets of lessons they seek. Time will know. I wasn't there. But the other part, a quest for nobility, sustenance, serenity, those words had come to me. But then I began to think about that minister and how he talked about the third dimension. And the third dimension, could that go in there? There's a group called the fifth dimension, and there's, all stuff about the fourth dimension and everything. Third dimension? What's so great about that? But is it too scientific a word for poetry? Well, I decided it was okay. It would work. So then I had said in the original, I said, like the birds, may we see. Oh, like the birds. So I've just changed it. I just say, so may we see over barriers and borderlines. Dan Tynan, my friend and editor and producer of the last couple of albums and or more than that, and videos and other things. I showed it to him and he said, unrelenting hope for the land of the free. The birds don't care about land of the free. Why don't you stick with the bird thing? And land of the free, it sounded like I got into something else. And I appreciated that. That's true. So then imagining the place, I changed it to dreaming a world. And that's kind of the way it went. So the unrelenting hope for the land of the free. How about a bond of all beings would fit better, going back to the birds, beings of earth, land, and sea. And then in the next verse, I was referring to spirit of the earth, spirit of the never-ending, spirit of the healing. There's so many spirits, and the spirit moving always. So that third dimension line fits in again at the same place it did before. Spirit of the earth, spirit of the never-ending, spirit of third dimension, seeing straight to the heart sounded good to me. If you don't like it, let me know. And then I had in the beginning a kind of pathetic thing, find our wandering souls and make a new start. I think there is some kind of, there's not a bearded old man in the sky as far as my imagery goes, but there's something that I just prefer to call spirit. And spirit of what? I don't know. Spirit is what's happening. It's how you're feeling. It's school spirit, teen spirit, all of that stuff. I don't ask the spirit for favors. So find our wandering souls and make a new start. Nobody's going to do it for us, and I said, in the greater dance, may we each play our part, is the way it ends. So I'm gonna sing it again. Soaring beyond doubt over Earth's solemn gravity, in noisy migration, still they long for their rest. Sun kissed their wings as they carve the sky eternal, looking to the night when they'll sleep in their nests. Voyagers heed signs written on the wide horizon. From the third dimension find the secrets they seek. Quest for nobility, sustenance, serenity beckons to the brave as it comforts the meek. So may we see over barriers and borderlines, a bond of all beings of the land, earth, land, and sea, dreaming a world where each life is truly valued, rendering a justice that restores humanity. Spirit of the earth, spirit of the never-ending, from the third dimension, seeking straight to the heart. Spirit moving always just beyond our understanding. In the greater dance, may we each play our part. So, last week I did a concert on St. Patrick's Day with a bunch of Celtic songs that I had a great time researching some of those, going to Google and finding these things. And I love those melodies. You know, they're not jazz inflected or gospel inflected or something, but they have this, we might call it not tonal. Oh my gosh, what are those called? We might call it modal kind of harmony, you know. Those things. Let's see, how does that song go? I did it last week. I can't remember, but you know, those Celtic songs, and that's what I wanted to do with that song, was make it a Celtic kind of sounding melody. And one more thing, now I think about it. So I'm soaring beyond doubt, goes to the relative minor. And 4 da da 1 da 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 2 to 5, and then the next time 1 da da 2 da da 3 da da 4, and then da 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 da. Then I go to the relative minor for the second half. Voyagers here, and then we slip out of the key just for a moment, because I do things like that. Da 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 da. The melody is still up and down the scale, but I put a couple of altered chords in there, and then the da da, and an E seventh and an A seventh, and C. So I didn't end secrets they seek. It's secrets they seek. It was another little bit, I guess, to try to make it a feeling of longing. And then da 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 da, starting on the 5 chord. 5 da 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 1. Other times it was da 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 this time, and then the second line was da 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 again. The third line different. Ba da 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 da. Then this one not da 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 da, but ba da 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 da. Just so I thought it was a way to give it a little bit more longing, and I remember now they long for their rest in the beginning. It's that sense of longing in those Celtic songs. Okay, well, I thought I'd take on a song that was a little more complex, that I know some friends out there have said they like this song, and I like people who like this song. How much of it did I put on that piece of paper? Emily, you could put that up there. Harmony. Oh yeah, I've just got the chorus there, but let me sing you a verse. Here's a verse of the song. Pieces. Oh my gosh. Pieces. I better get in the right key. Pieces. Yeah. Okay, so pieces a rolling sea, so full of mystery. I feel its harmony in ebb and crest. Peace is a work of art that moves the open heart. What have I done? Peace is a place to start and final rest. As I started thinking about the chords, I played the wrong one. So that goes, peace is a rolling, see this is E minor, and the bass, da 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 da. All that could have been in E minor, da 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 da, and get back to there. Then the second time I make it major. Peace is a rolling, rolling sea, da 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 da. What am I doing? Da da, ba da 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 da. So I just jumped out of key a little. Instead of E minor descending, now it was kind of down major. Oh yes, a little chromatic stuff in there. So now I've ended up in the relative minor of that E major. So okay, enough of that. That was all descending. The verse was descending. Peace is this and peace is that, and I feel like things are settling down. Then the chorus, I'm singing harmony of harmony. It's kind of a, you could say it's a prayer to the great unknown, the great whatever. But okay, you can leave the music on the screen. Thanks, Emily. Harmony of harmony, I hear you sing to me. Let it wash over me. Let it begin. Harmony of harmony, unfolding melody. I am your instrument. Let peace begin with me. So I had started on E minor, and then I'd gone to E major, and then down through to those things, and ended ended here, and so here I am in a whole lot of sharps in F sharp, and just up a half step. Harmony of harmony, and then the one of the chord becomes the third of a chord. If you don't know anything about music, just let that go by you. So harmony of harmony, and I have this little climbing up thing that happens. To here. So I'm going to play that again. Harmony of harmony. Oh, we're twisting the key here. I hear you sing to me. Let it wash over me. This is, in theory class, we learned this is called a German augmented sixth chord going to a 1/6/4 resolution. You don't need to know that. It's just da, da. It could have gone da, da, but it didn't. It went ba, da, 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 ba, da, da, da. And then we're half step higher. And what might sound like the same thing is actually a half step higher. Harmony of harmony, unfolding melt. Now this time, the climbing thing keeps going. I am your instrument. Let peace begin with me. And then we're back at the key of C and B. Back to E minor. So I went through about 6 keys there, 3 in each phrase. And after oh, like Schubert and Beethoven and stuff in the Romantic era, they're using things like that. Even Bach, all the way back there, would occasionally, sneak one of those things in. But then it gets to people like Chopin and Wagner, late Romantic people like that. Like who else? And I love those things where they're shifting around. You don't know what key you're in. I thought a song about the great elusive harmony of harmony would be sneaking around all over the place. Although several people have said to me over the years, well, you got a song called Harmony. Why don't you just stick in D major and so we can sing harmony with it? Well, I thought the harmony would be more elusive. So I'm going to sing you that chorus again. Harmony of harmony, I hear you sing to me. Let it wash over me, let it begin. Now half step higher. Harmony of harmony, unfolding melody, I am your instrument. Let peace begin with me. You can keep the music there. I'll play one more verse. Peace is a field of grain, 'neath sun and gentle rain, in nature's glad refrain of love begun. All beings' songs are sung as bells together rung. Peace speaks in every tongue, all songs are one. Harmony of harmony, I hear you sing to me. Let it wash over me, let it begin. Harmony of harmony, unfolding melody, I am your instrument. Let peace begin with me. Now, I first composed the song in, I'm thinking this big slow 1, 2, 3, in phrases of 3. And people thought it was so complicated that I just doubled the, you sing it and it's not complicated, but if you try to write it down, it goes through double sharps and you don't know whether you use sharps or flats for a minute, and then you're in another key, and so on. But the phrases are sneaky too, because they're in 3s. Pieces, that's sort of 3, da da, 1, 2, 3, da da da, 1, 2, 3, da 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 da, 1, 2, 3, da da da, 1, da da, like that. So da 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 da, and there's my sneaky chord, da 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 da. That 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, instead of marching along in 1, 2, 3, 4, left, right, that, all good rock and roll, like that. I gotta get my song list out. That song, the Third Dimension song, I initially thought of it, I just remembered this, I thought of it in 4/4 time. Ba da 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and then I started thinking of all my songs in 3/4, like There's a Moon Out My Window, or Gather the Spirit, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and how the rolling lullaby sound of 3/4. So it doesn't get squeezed at all. It actually fits the rhythm of the lyrics maybe even better. Soaring beyond doubt over Earth's solemn gravity. and I like this sort of 3 against 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or is it 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2? So da 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 da. So for the moment, that's where the song is. It's a 3/4. It's in 3/4 time. I'm going to record it. Well, I guess I just did in this concert, but I'll concentrate and record a version of it soon. I think, Emily, I said I'd put in a little bit of, I'll just say, I'm going to not play this whole song. I played it last week, or played it a couple of times recently. It's the longer road I choose, with so many good friends left behind. How do I tell them of the trials and the peace I find? That's the beginning of the verse of let all our hearts open wide, feeling the Spirit deep inside. I remember hearing a program when I was a little kid of Leonard Bernstein, and he's saying, well, he liked to play with the intervals, and Maria, da da da, da 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 da, with this augmented fourth, or there's a place for us, boom boom. How many songs jump a flat 7 in the beginning? Da, 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 da. So in this song, I thought I'll do that. I'll go, it's a longer, and I did 2/4, and I don't know of another song that does this. Da, 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 from 1 to 5 to 2, 4, and then da da da, 5, 2, 6, again 2/4 in a row. It just entertained me, and that's what I did in the song. And it made a different beginning of a song than we've ever heard before, even though a lot of the song is really right, maybe because the chorus was so right in the pocket of let all our hearts open wide, feeling the Spirit deep inside. Da 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 da. It's intended to be a sing-along, totally simple, but I thought I'd make the verse more complicated. So that's what I did. My song, The Oneness of Everything, I'm delighted it's in the Unitarian Universalist hymn books. And again, pardon if I don't sing the whole song. I'm going to sing you a whole verse and everything, but I'll just show you how it goes. And I was going to switch guitars. I won't. Just to save time, I won't. I'll play it here. I lived in Eugene, Oregon, and I went to the dentist, and we're sitting there, and they said, oh, well, he's really behind. It's going to be, he's going to be a while. Do you mind? You could maybe even go have lunch. No, I don't want to go have lunch, and then I'd have to figure out how to brush my teeth. I don't have it right here. Before computers, I carried around this zippered notebook, and I still do. You can put everything in there. You got papers in there, and I don't have the 3-ring binder kind anymore. I just put the papers in, and I'll have all like song sheets of things. I haven't quite gotten to have it all on my my iPad yet or something. But it's good because you zip it all, you put it all in zip in the pens and whatever else you got, your checkbook, everything you zip it in there, which is good because you can put it on top of your car and then you can drive away and you can go back and get it, and all your stuff is still there. In my notebook for years, I don't think I still do, I had manuscript paper, music manuscript paper. And I thought, well, I remember doing this in basic training in the Army where I had nothing to do, and I sat there and I wrote, I just had paper and I ruled out lines and I wrote down a song. Well, so in the dentist's office I thought, I'll write a hymn tune. And I wrote 3 of them. 2 of them are forgotten, but this one, that's half of it. And the second half, then a climbing. I might not have had it, quite as funky rhythm until I put words to it. And that thing was on the 6th chord, but then oh, the 3rd is on the bottom. Third's on the bottom. Just a little thing I like to do. A little unusual. So it had 32 bars and like 4, 4, 4, 4, and then we repeated the ending. Could have ended there, didn't it? Again like that. So back about 1990 or even a little before, I started thinking about a musical. I was going to write a musical about the forests and about a kid who fights to save his favorite tree from being cut down. I made it a boy. I think if I do it again, I'd make it a girl this time. He ends up sitting in his tree to keep it from being cut down. And in a mystical moment, he learns he can talk to this big old tree. So this song actually comes out of conversation with the tree, which has a much longer lifespan, and a different perspective on life in a way. And the tree is an old philosopher and has things to tell about life and so on. And did I say, and then he ends up sitting in the tree to try to keep it from being cut down. So somehow that one melody had stayed in my mind for years, like several years at least. And as I started thinking of some words, far beyond the grasp of hands, or light to meet the eye. I could have been anything else, far beyond the grasp of hands, or light to meet the eye. It could have gone the opposite direction. Somehow I heard it as a falling thing, and far beyond the grasp of hands. Wow, that's where? Or light to meet the eye. Wow, that's way out there. Past the reaches of the mind. Wow, that's way out there. There find the key to nature's harmony in an architecture so entwined. That doesn't mean I believe in pre-thought architecture that, what is that called? Sacred design. What is that called? Something design. No, evolution happened. That's what I sign on to now. So here, I'll sing you a verse. 2 verses. Far beyond the grasp of hands, or light to meet the eye, past the reaches of the mind, there find the key to nature's harmony in an architecture so entwined. Like the birds whose patterns grace the sky, and carry all who join in love expanding. The message of peace will rise in flight, taking the weight of the world upon its wings, in the oneness of everything. So then it picks up, and I get a little more stronger rhythm in the second verse, and by the third verse it's really marching along. It just occurred to me there's a little bit more about birds in flight that just came in that song. Like the birds whose patterns da, da, da. And there the rising melody, the message of peace will rise in flight, taking the message of peace will rise in flight. I'm going to say it came of hearing a Michael McDonald song that I love. What's the name of that? And he says, the weight of the world's problems can make the ball fall right through space. He says, and then, what is that? But I'm here to love you, I guess the name of it. And then he says, but I'm here with all the same pain in life that everybody knows. Or I just want you to know that I'm here with all the pain in life that everybody knows. Well, somehow the that translated for me into, I'm going to do something like that. The message of peace will rise in flight, taking the weight of the world upon its wings. Wow, we're lifting the weight of the world off of the world, of the oneness of everything. I'm going to sing you the third verse. Still we seek to find a truth that we might understand and reduce to terms defined, vast and immeasurable, time and space, also overwhelmingly designed. Oh, passing years, just might I know the faith that winters in the heart, to be reborn in spring, to hear and to feel the pulse of life enters my soul as a song to sing. Of the oneness of everything. Oh, I get choked up. No, I'm not choked up over the song. Yikes. Well, Emily, can we switch, do it out of order? So the oneness of everything. So as the story goes on, the kid is in his tree, and the rich guy who's bought the failing lumber company in the mills, he wants this tree to be the world's largest Christmas tree at the grand opening of the shopping mall. So it's just before Thanksgiving, and this kid's in the tree, and he won't come down. And the loggers, the fellers, the loggers are actually the ones that drive the trucks and drive the logs. The fellers are, anyway, they're there to cut down the trees of this old growth place, and people are outraged. So there's a whole bunch of protesters there too, and the police are arresting the protesters, and he's in the tree, and so talking to the tree, the kid gets tricked out of the tree. They say, if you come down, we'll let you. You can go to Salem. Go to Salem. Tell them you talk to the trees, and tell them they don't want to be cut down, and They more than that, but they strike a deal with him, and he comes down from the tree. And of course, they were lying. Immediately, they come in and start cutting down the tree. And the great tree that we've come to know and love gets cut down. So, Emily, I wanted to prepare you. Can you put up the song "I Will Shelter You"? So, so the kid. Well, you know, tragedy in theater. Yes, tragedy, but then lives are changed, so, you know, something's good is happening. But in the story, the kid is devastated at this point. He says, "Tree, what'll I do without you? And I don't know, what will I do? You were always there for me to lean on, to climb on, to go to for shelter. I'll be lost." And the tree says, "Oh, mourning is a good thing, but remember, it's time to move on. All my relatives are all around here. My roots are connected to so much stuff. I'm a part of everything. My cones and needles, they've gone everywhere. My relatives are dancing all over these mountains. So I'm kind of in everything. And everything's in me. And for that matter, everything's in you. So wherever you go, well, I'll be there." And I forgot to say, at this point, we're hearing the song, "The Oneness of Everything" in the background. This starts with 3 in the bass, and and then this song starts. "I will shelter you, my friend. I will shelter you with a love that has no end. Know that I will shelter you." That's the chorus, and it turns into a 4-part round eventually. "I will shelter you, my friend. I will shelter you," like that. So you can sing a second part when I get to that again. And then, "I will shelter you. I will shelter you." That's down at the bottom of the music. There's this little riff. "I will shelter you. I will shelter you. I will shelter you. I will shelter you." Here's the chorus. "I will shelter you, my friend. I will shelter you with a love that has no end. Know that I will shelter you." Like that. And here's one verse. "I will follow you with sunlit migrating clouds that fly with the wind, nearly calling aloud, and through the watchful night that embraces where you are, I will be your sky of stars, and I will shelter you. I will shelter you." We get on this riff. "I will shelter you when you need a friend. I will shelter you when you lost your way. I will shelter you when the night is long. I will shelter you when the way is dark. I will shelter you when you don't know where to turn. I will shelter you. I will shelter you, my friend. I will shelter you with a love that has no end. Know that I will So for a long time now, I've been trying to make songs um, that sensitize people to the earth and sensitize people to peace and why we need it, the earth and why we need it, the water and why we need it. Um, and that's my thing. I don't write a lot of, as I always like to say, I need you baby songs. Um, but a song that I almost thought was kind of like, okay, we need a commercial. There was a contest, actually. I didn't win the contest. I did get an honorable mention, but I got a good song out of it. And the song that won, I really didn't think spoke to it as much. They wanted a Get Out the Vote song. A Get Out the Vote song. Okay. The world needs your voice. The world needs your voice. Cry in anguish, shout and rejoice. The world needs your voice. I'm in the wrong key. We won't be victims, won't be sad. We've had. Raise your voice. I can't remember the words. The world needs your voice. So obviously a sing-along, a hook, a refrain. I don't necessarily try to write a hook in a song, but I did for that because of the purpose. We're trying to get people hooked with a sound bite. And so the world needs your voice. The world needs your voice. Cry in anguish, shout and rejoice. The world needs your voice like that. So every time an election comes around, some people have Christmas songs that come around all regularly. I got an election song that I'll use every time we. So there's not a lot to say about that song. I put a little variation in there in places. Raise your voice, now is the hour. One voice than many, speak truth to power. Cry in anguish, shout and rejoice. The world needs your voice. The world needs your voice. The world needs your voice. It's a democracy. Raise your voice. The world needs your voice. The world needs your voice. The world needs your voice. So next election, I'm going to get a real good rhythm and blues band together and play a song like that. Another one, one more song with a purpose. When I wrote that musical, I really got a challenge. I see why people collaborate on musicals. And then you need a song for this character who says, I am this and I'm going there, or I'm going to do this, and or I think this, and whatever. So it's like all of those term papers that you didn't want to write that eventually you go, oh yeah, now I'm into it, and you come up with filling out the story. And I'll say, I'm very fortunate I got to do that musical twice in 2 colleges. And it was too long. I got carried away. Oh, I need this, and I need that, and I need more of that, and I need more of that. And so judiciously, next time around, we'll use that writer's phrase that's really violent. You got to kill some of your babies. And it needs to be judiciously shorter next time it comes around. I had a whole script, a talking script as well as 14 songs. Well, it's 14 songs in West Side Story or, My Fair Lady or something. But most musicals might not have that many. And that was a great learning experience. But I've come to feel we need a song and in so many places, walking down the street with the Great Peace March, in the last week of the Great Peace March. I didn't go on the whole thing, but in 1986, the Great Peace March went across America, and I played in various places. And we had just done a concert the night before with Pete Seeger and Peter Yarrow and Tom Chapin, Odetta, I don't know, a bunch of, some other people. And then I was marching the next day, very cold in November in Baltimore that day. And we're marching down the street. And so 650 people joined by 1,000 more people, locals, don't all sing the same song as they're walking down the street. Songs move you along. But there's this group up ahead. They're beating Tibetan drums and singing chants. And behind us are people singing old Beatles songs. This is called Nothing But Peace Is Enough. I came up with this little mantra, and you get with people like that, I guess you could say counterculture, or just people who have a purpose like that, and the support you get when you have an idea, brainstorming an idea, is just amazing. So we got here's the way the chorus goes. Nothing but peace is enough for me. Nothing but peace is enough. Nothing but peace is enough. Nothing but peace is enough for me. So the words are easy. Nothing but peace is enough for me. Nothing but peace is enough. Nothing but peace is enough. Nothing but peace is enough for me. So you put the four me's on the first and fourth phrases, and we have it. And the second, so it's a round. It's four parts. And what I tried to do is make the rhythm a little different for each one, so it's counterpoint. It's not all just parallel. So it could have been nothing but peace is enough for me. And the next one, nothing but peace is enough. But I got carried away and put enough in there, which extended the whole range of the song another fourth. So it's an octave and a fourth, the whole range. But that nothing but peace is enough. You can get it down there. Enough, nothing but peace. And if that's too high, you can stay down on enough and sing nothing but peace is enough. Any octave is politically correct. Let's try the whole thing. Nothing but peace is enough for me. Nothing but peace is enough. Nothing but peace is enough. Nothing but peace is enough for me. So I thought peace, that high D would be high enough, but I used to sing a lot more in my higher register, thinking that's what you should do. So the verse goes even higher than the chorus, which is not so often the case in popular song. Oh boy, I'm full of such mixed emotions right now. I've got to say it to someone. We've got to do this more than just holidays. Got to be in it for the long run. For the long run. Nothing but peace is enough for me. Nothing but peace is enough. Nothing but peace is enough. Nothing but peace is enough for me. How can weapons of war be weapons of peace? We are fighting in a different fashion. We too believe in peace through strength, but their strength is in our compassion. In our compassion. Solo la paz es suficiente. Solo la paz para mí. Solo la paz para mí. Solo la paz suficiente. Like that. Rien que la paix qui suffit pour moi. Frieden allein ist genug für mich. Mir только мир нужен нам сейчас. Mir tolka mir nujanam, Russian. It used to be controversial to sing a chorus in the language of the evil empire, but we've got people who go looking for evil empires or inventing them. Had to put in another chorus. La shayella salam li, la shayella salam, la shayella salam, la shayella salam li. So we could put all those languages together, but let's not. Let's do it in English one more time. Nothing but peace is enough for me. Nothing but peace is enough. Nothing but peace is enough. Nothing but peace is enough for me. Nothing but peace is enough for me. Nothing but peace is enough for me. Well, I hope that's a bit of an example of where all this stuff comes from. Of course, I have some more complicated music, and I didn't want this to be... Boy, where'd the hiccups come from? I didn't want this just to become a lecture. I'm worried I talk too much in between these things, but that's where some of these songs come from. It just occurred to me that there were a couple of songs back then. That song... Let all our hearts open wide, let all our hearts open wide. The verse actually goes up higher than the chorus, and so does Nothing But Peace Is Enough. Rather than making a rocky song that goes way up there, the tenors that sing rock music mostly do. I thought, well, we want a chorus that everybody can sing along with, so we'll put the chorus down a little bit lower. Almost did the same thing with this song, and I always close with this song. I never said in this whole concert commercial, thank you very much if you can make a donation to PayPal me/Jim Scott Music, or Venmo is there as well. And we really appreciate that. Your donations, even small, keep us going. And I was going to ask too, I find out from people later that, oh, hey, I really liked your song. Well, why didn't you write a comment? Say hello. And I should encourage comments as well. And what I should encourage too is, if you haven't, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe to my YouTube page. I'm just a little short of having enough people on YouTube to get paid for ads that are on YouTube. And we're going to gather all these concerts, lots of them going back weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks here, months and months, are still on Facebook. I'm going to be taking them off Facebook at some point and just saying, go over to YouTube and see the concerts. We're editing up some of the concerts too, to make so you can look for the songs, and doing a little cataloging work like that. So thanks very much for listening tonight. My wish. The word is wish. My wish for you, as now we part, is for greater peace to fill your heart with dreams as vast as starry space. So hurt and anger know no place. May truth be shared and wounds be healed, and joy for living be revealed. Through every fate and circumstance, may hope lead weary steps to dance. And may your life be as a song, resounding with the dawn, to sing awake the light, then softly serenade the stars, ever dancing circles in the night. Well, I've said many times, this is a different songwriting process. This chorus is a folk song, a Russian folk song. And then I made up the verses to go with it. I thought I was just going to write a translation, a better, more poetic translation than I'd heard. And I got carried away and added 2 verses to the song. I'll sing the second one. May fears be turned with keen insight to wisdom for what's just and right. Where sorrow grows, compassion strong, and pains will pass before too long. May the bounds of our diversity serve a richer harmony. May courage hold your heart so true to smile on love when it smiles on you. And may your life be as a song, resounding with the dawn, to sing awake the light, then softly serenade the stars, ever dancing circles in the night, ever dancing circles in the night, ever dancing circles. Thank you, everybody. It's been a long concert, a lot of talking. Hope that was an entertaining insight. If you got anything to say about my songwriting process, you're always welcome to email me, jim@jimscottmusic.com. You'll find it on the website. And thank you very much. Hope we'll see you next week. Be well, be good to each other, get vaccinated, and love one another. Good night.